Hello, second grade. I am going to read the next chapter of Wayside School is Falling Down. Going to try something a little different. We'll see how fun it is. So this chapter is chapter 26, and it's called The Mean Mrs. Jules. We'll see how it goes. Everybody in Mrs. Jules' class thought she was a very nice teacher. They were wrong. There is no such thing as a nice teacher. If you think you have a nice teacher, then you're wrong too. Inside every nice teacher, there is a mean and rotten teacher bursting to get out. The nicer the teacher is on the outside, the meaner the teacher is on the inside. Is that true? Maybe. Sorry. As Mrs. Jules was changing the bulletin board before class, she heard a mean and rotten voice whisper inside her brain.
Give the children lots of busy work today, and then make them do it over again if their handwriting isn't perfect.
Mrs. Jules tried very hard to ignore the voice. She didn't like giving busy work. Instead, she tried to teach the children 3 new things every day. She believed that if they learned 3 new things every day, they would eventually learn everything there is to know. There were some classes where the teachers give so much busy work that the children never learn anything.
What do you care if the children learn anything?
Asked the mean, rotten voice.
It's not your job to teach them. It's your job to punish them. Keep them in at recess. Hit them with your yardstick.
The bell rang and all the kids scurried to their desks. We're gonna learn 3 new things today, Mrs. Jules announced. Number 1, how to make pickles. Number 2, 7 plus 4. And number 3, the capital of England. All the children paid close attention. The capital of England is London, said Mrs. Jules. 7 plus 4 equals 11, and pickles are made by sticking cucumbers in brine. On her desk, she had a box of cucumbers and a vat of brine for demonstration. Okay, Joe. How much is 7 plus 4? Joe just shrugged. But I just told you, Joe. Weren't you listening? I don't know, said Joe. Okay, who can tell me how pickles are made? Yes, Jason. 11! Jason declared. Miss Jules frowned. That is a correct answer, but unfortunately, I didn't ask the right question. Can anyone tell me how pickles are made? Yes, Bibi.
In London,
said Bibi. I suppose they make pickles in London. Okay, let's start again. Calvin, what is the capital of England? Could you write England on the board? I can do a lot better when I can see the question. Mrs. Jules wrote England on the board for Calvin. Right there. Oh, okay. The capital of England is E. Yes, that's one capital of England. Okay, I'll say it one more time. The capital of England is London. Isn't that where they make all the pickles? Asked Jenny. No, they don't make all the pickles in London, explained Allison. Just 11. Well, then where do they make the rest of the pickles? Asked Stephen. Stop it! Stop it! That's it! You're all staying in for recess. Everyone stared at Mrs. Jules. She'd never acted like that before. It was against the class rules for anyone to act like that. If you did, you had to write your name on the blackboard under the word discipline. Mrs. Jules put her hand over her mouth and then took it away. Oh, dear, I'm very sorry. I don't know what came over me. She wrote her own name on the blackboard under the word discipline. Perhaps you'll learn the lesson better if you write it down. Everyone, please take out a piece of paper and a pickle. Everybody laughed. Ugh, pencil. I meant to say pencil. It just came out pickle. I didn't know pickles came from pencils. I thought they came from cucumbers, said Jenny. I thought they came from London, said Todd. Just then, Mrs. Jules made an ugly face. Todd, shut your mouth. Do you hear me? She picked up her yardstick and held it over Todd's head. Well, answer me. Did you hear me tell you to shut your mouth? Yes. How dare you talk back to me? Didn't you hear me tell you to shut your mouth? Todd kept his mouth shut. Well, answer me, she demanded. Todd didn't know what to do, so he just nodded his head. Keep still, and I don't want you to say another word. Is that clear? I said, is that clear? Yes. Mrs. Jules slammed down the yardstick. Todd quickly moved out of the way. The yardstick banged against his desk and broke in half. Mrs. Jules stared at the 18 inches she'd held in her hand. Oh, my goodness! I'm sorry, Todd. I don't know what's the matter with me today. I must have gotten up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. She put a check mark next to her name under the word discipline. Okay, let me try to make this very simple. If I have 7 cucumbers, and then I get 4 more cucumbers, and then I drop them all into a brine and take them to the capital of England, what do I have? How many, and where am I? Huh? Said DJ. What? Asked John. Could you write the question on the board, please? Asked Rondi. Shut your mouth! Can you write the question on the board, please? You kids think you're so cute. Well, we'll see just how cute you really are. She picked up the vat of brine from her desk. How would you like it if I poured this on your heads? You won't be so cute when you're all shriveled up and covered with warts like pickles. She walked up and down the aisles, carrying the pickle juice and glaring at the children. No one dared make a sound. She stopped next to Leslie. How about you, Leslie? How would you like pickled pigtails? Leslie trembled. Her pigtails wiggled. Well, I am going to ask you 3 questions. And if you don't answer them all correctly, I'm going to dump this all over your head. Leslie gulped. Question 1. How much is 7 plus 4? Leslie quickly tried to count on her fingers, but she didn't have enough. 11? A look of disappointment came over Mrs. Jules's face. Okay. Question 2. What is the capital of England? London? Leslie said nervously. Rats! Okay. Question 3. Looked down at the vat of brine she was holding and shook her head. She thought a moment, then smiled. What is the name of my cousin who lives in Vermont? Leslie had no idea, so she just had to take a guess. She closed her eyes and said, Fred Jules? Wrong! Exclaimed Mrs. Jules. She raised the vat of brine high above Leslie's head and started to tip it over. Paul jumped out of his seat. Those pigtails had once saved his life. Now it was his turn to return the favor. He pushed the vat of brine back the other way. He was just trying to push it up straight, but he pushed it too hard. It poured all over Mrs. Jules, drenching her. Paul froze in terror. Mrs. Jules blinked her eyes. Pickle juice dripped down her face. Thanks, Paul. I needed that. The brine had cured her. She circled her own name on the blackboard and sent herself home early on the kindergarten bus. The end. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you again soon.